4 years ago, I was ready to graduate high school and go to college, but I had a difficult decision to make. I knew what I wanted to study, what I wanted to be when I grew up, but not where to go. I have known that I wanted to one day practice medicine since I was 4 years old. My family had recently moved to Birmingham, Alabama, and I met my new pediatrician, Dr. Allison. I was fascinated by her and how she could figure out and fix problems. I think my 4-year-old brain was heavily influenced by us sharing a name, but I decided that year that I wanted to be a pediatrician. All through school, I loved science and was set on my path. In 2017, I was stuck between two great schools with strong pre-health programs, but my decision to attend Sewanee ultimately came down to community. I loved every interaction I had with the students at Sewanee and the community that they had created. I made my decision and never looked back. By my freshman year of college, I was finally learning some real science, which I thought was the end-all be-all of medicine. I was very, very wrong. I learned over the next year how lacking my perspective was. I spent most of my time studying or working in the labs, but I was lacking any meaningful experiences. I still wanted to be a doctor, but so did most of the people around me. After many long nights studying and stressing, I wasn't sure what being a doctor meant, or what I was trying to get myself into. So I quit my work study at the chemistry labs and branched out. I became active with clubs and organizations on campus and discovered new passions for my classes. Sophomore year, I took a medical humanities class that began my interest in public health and a nutrition class that introduced me to type 2 diabetes. These two classes, as well as volunteering with Sewanee Multicultural Health Society at Morton Memorial Food Drive, led me to apply to become a diabetes education fellow at the end of my sophomore year. I found that not only did I love learning about the mechanics of the disease and how to treat it, I loved learning about the interventions that can be made before the diagnosis. Even after all of the training and educating that the fellows completed, talking with the participants of the program was a whole new ballgame. Suddenly, the diabetic audience and all of the statistics was a face, a name, and a story. I was starting to understand that this is what medicine actually is. It's not just the science, it's the person and their life. At the end of the year, I was encouraged to apply for the Canale position, which I did. I love this program, the work that we do, the community that we serve, the fellows, and making an impact, but COVID-19 has made it very difficult. I thought that I understood the position that I had applied for, but the program was suddenly very different. All of the plans and materials for the program that I had inherited would not work anymore. I was lucky in that 2 Canales were chosen to lead the program, which gave us 2 brains to work with when we had to adapt the program to our new reality. Since we were not allowed to leave campus, we decided to create videos that would explain something about type 2 diabetes or give some helpful tips on how to live with it. We had ups and downs figuring it all out, but we learned a lot about what worked and what didn't. This has been a crazy year, but it has given us so many ideas on how to improve in the future. If I had to summarize my experience and what I have learned as a Canale into one word, it would be perspective. There are so many different ways to solve a problem. Sometimes you just need to change how you look at something to find a way to help. This program hasn't always been easy, but it has been rewarding. One of the biggest impacts on me is my interest in rural medicine. After graduation, I plan to apply to medical schools. I've learned so much about the challenges and rewards of working with a community like this, and I hope to one day practice either pediatric or family medicine in a rural setting. I've wanted to be a doctor for nearly 20 years, but I've started to realize what that means after my 4 years at Sewanee and working with the diabetes prevention program.